Hello, students. Today we'll be talking about Hipaa, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Sometimes I think I want to spell it like Hippo with two P's, but it's two A's. So, what is Hipaa? It's a federal law that governs the way covered entities handle the privacy and security of patients' protected health information. And that is known by the acronym PHI, Protected Health Information. HIPAA covered entities include healthcare providers and health plans that send certain information electronically. So, protected health information includes any health information about an individual in any form, including electronic, hard copy, papers, analog films, and even oral information that was created or received by a healthcare provider, health plan, or employer, and that identifies the individual or that can be used to identify the individual. So EPHI is electronic protected health information. Electronic protected health information can include patient information in an email or stored on a CD or a memory stick. So, when is patient information not protected health information? It's when it's de identified. Sometimes you might hear the term redacted. So, to de identify protected health information, all 18 identifiers have to be removed. So let's take a look at the 18 HIPAA identifiers that must be removed so that the information is not then classified as protected health information. So names, no names, no locations, including addresses, cities, counties, precincts, zip codes, dates except for the year, but including like birth date, admission date, that would be to like a hospital, discharge date, date of death, and all ages over 89, or information that would indicate an age over 89. Telephone numbers, fax numbers, email, social security numbers, medical record numbers, health plan beneficiary numbers. It's a lot of things that have to be removed. Account numbers, certificate license numbers, license plate numbers, device identifiers, serial numbers, URLs, internet protocol, address, IP addresses, biometric identifiers. That would be like fingerprints and voice prints. Like I know my bank now has a voice print of me so they know it's like talking to me when I call every time my debit card is stolen. Um, Full face photographic images and any other comparable images and any other unique identifying number, characteristic, or code unless the key is not disclosed to the code. So a lot of things have to be removed prior to classifying something as de-identified. So sometimes it's considered a breach. And I think about like a whale, like breaching out of the ocean. It's when they jump out of the ocean. And so breaching for HIPAA is not great like a whale. It's bad. It means like it sort of has come out into the open information, protected health information that should not have been exposed out, should have stayed underneath the ocean. So that's what a breach is. And if there is a breach, intentional or unintentional, and ignorance of the law is no excuse. You cannot say, I didn't realize that taking a picture of my patient with other people in the background and posting it to social media, that would still be considered an intentional disclosure of PHI. So the federal government imposes strict penalties on individuals and entities. So individuals could be you as a student, It could be me, it could be an entity, the dental hygiene clinic, a dental office that violates HIPAA. And when you violate HIPAA, that is known as a breach. Civil monetary penalties. So civil court is different than criminal. So civil court usually there's a lower preponderance of evidence, and you get money, right? Or you have to pay money. So civil monetary penalties can range from $100 to over $50,000 for each HIPAA violation. A knowing and wrongful disclosure of protected health information can also result in criminal penalties. That means jail. All right, so that includes fines and imprisonment. So now you know, and our new code to live by with HIPAA is when in doubt, leave it out. Don't mention anything about anyone coming to the clinic outside of our clinic. Do not talk about anyone. We'll go over all the different variables, but live by the code of when in doubt, leave it out. So, personal liability, that's for an individual. So, Congress recently made it clear that the penalties apply to any person who obtains or discloses individually identifiable health information in violation of HIPAA. So, obtaining identifiable health information might be, so you might have seen in the news like a nurse or a doctor sees a neighbor is in for certain treatments in a hospital, and they decide to look up that person's record to see what they're in for. If you're not in direct care of that patient, you may not obtain or go into their record to see what that person is there for. So any person who obtains or discloses, if someone says, oh, my patient was this movie star, you cannot disclose any identifiable health information, including names and things like that. That is a violation or a breach of HIPAA. 2009, Congress also enacted new laws that increase the penalties for HIPAA violations and that step up HIPAA enforcement. So here are some compliance tips for our dental hygiene clinic. So patient records. You'll be seeing patients in our clinic and you will be creating records for your family members. These records, even if it's for your family member, they need to remain in the clinical area, in the records room. Do not bring the records home. Do not store records in your locker, and do not leave any patient information in the label maker in our records room. Medical history. So usually we either mail the medical history to the patient, and when they have an appointment, this is an outside clinical patient, when they have an appointment, they come back in. Sometimes they mail the paper medical history back to us, and that kind of confirms that they're coming to their appointment. But some of you will be making appointments for your family members, and you will bring paper medical histories home with you for patients to fill out. Ideally, the patient will hand carry that to their appointment and drop it off at the desk. If you need to bring the medical history right back to the clinic after the patient has filled it out at home, you need to seal it in an envelope. If they want you to hand carry it back to the clinic, you just seal it in an envelope and bring it back to the front office sealed. Do not review medical histories in the reception area. If a patient has sensitive medical information, it is better to wait until the patient presents to the dental hygiene clinic for them to finish or complete their medical history. So you might say, well, what is sensitive medical information? Well, some patients may think anything on their medical history is sensitive medical information. So it's really up to the patient. If they don't want you to hand carry it back, they can bring it with them on the day of their appointment. So our clinic computers, you never want to leave this says laptop, but let's say I'm going to change it right now as I'm doing this. Never leave a clinic computer with patient information unattended that is not secured. Shrink your window if you must leave your station. So you don't want to have patient records on full view, their digital, dental charting, anything like that up on the computer. You want to shrink that down. Do not leave the appointment book visible when your patient is seated in your chair. The patient can turn and look at every patient that's coming into our dental hygiene clinic. Appointment book you must shrink that down as well. Never share, write down, or post any of your passwords. You don't want anyone kind of going into the computer with your name and looking up information that they shouldn't be looking up. So social media. This is very important. Do not comment on social media about a family member or friend's upcoming or previous appointment. Don't do it. Again, when in doubt, leave it out. When you comment on social media, can't wait to see my brother today, DH, clinic, you're not allowed to do that. It's protected health information. You do not post pictures, patient information, comments about patients on social media, even in closed groups. It is not private. It is stored somewhere on a server. Take this with you into your practice. Do not post images, radiographs, and say, look what I'm dealing with after lunch today. Don't say to your aunt, it was great to see you in the office today. No pictures. So essentially, phones taking pictures of patients that are coming in, family and friends, doing selfies in the chair. No, we are not taking any pictures unless they are intraoral images for your periodontal project. So deleting information, let's say you're like, oh, I posted something and I shouldn't have done it. It's out there. It is a breach. Deleting that information is still considered a breach because the information is stored on a server. Covering the patient name is still considered a breach. People think that if you just cover up the patient's name but post their radiographs, and remember, the common person, the lay person, when you are on social media commenting about patients, things like that, think, what are they saying about me? It's unprofessional, and HIPAA is there to regulate that we are not discussing patient information to anyone. It's private. Right. No pictures. Sometimes when we used to have more of an open air clinic, a patient might think when you pull out your phone that they might be in the background. Don't take any pictures of patient radiographs. Don't text any information, email, post. Cell phones. You cannot charge your phone at a computer station in the clinic. You can't hook it up to get power from it because they can communicate with each other. You also need to turn off your voice recognition software. Like if you say, hey Siri. So remember, Siri is always listening. So Siri is listening to all communication that is happening chairside if you have your phone with you. So we ask that you turn off voice recognition software and have your patients leave the clinical areas when they're on their phone because their phone, they're not turning off their Siri, so it may pick up a conversation in another unit. Okay, so there's a 10-question quiz that goes along with this HIPAA presentation. So let me know if you have any questions or concerns, and to keep everything in your periodontal project confidential, no names, and let me know if you need any help.